We've assembled some of the greatest minds in cycling history. The know-it-all, Adam Kelsall, reportedly has a photographic mind or something. Encyclopedic knowledge of all things cycling. Well, some things. The has-been, Billy Joe Shearsby, infamous in the world of track cycling, having won a world championship in 1993, along with two other hacks and a freckle. The legend, Phil Anderson, first non-European to wear the yellow jersey at some backwater race in France. Together they are Grupetto Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hipster Fuckingville, Thornbury, and thank you to the Trumpy Bar for having us. Round of applause for the Trumpy Bar. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to the has-been, Billy Joe Shearsby.
Good evening, everybody. Lovely to have you all here.
1993 track world champion.
With a bullet.
With a bullet.
Yeah. Shortest ever professional cycling career in history, I think.
How long did you last after that?
Look, I think I was in and out quicker than the knack with my Sharona. Yeah. If I'm the knack, Phil is Neil Diamond. He's still touring. He's never stopped.
We haven't introduced Phil yet.
No. Phil who?
I had the privilege of meeting your coach tonight. Your very first coach, Leo.
The Gremlin.
Welcome, Leo.
The Gremlin.
Great to have you along. And he said you came back from the world champs.
Drunk.
They had a party.
No?
They had a party for you, and that was the beginning of the.
Oh, that was my 21st.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, but you're here with us now, and we're stoked to have you. Welcome, BJ.
Thank you very much.
And another living legend, soon to be
Lord
Sir Philip Anderson. Welcome, Phil.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, Adam.
It's
fantastic.
Great to have you.
Great
now,
company as always.
You've managed somehow to secure Alberto Contador's team uniform from the last Olympics. After all the dirty shit you've said about Alberto, I can't believe you're wearing...
That was me, Adam.
I can't believe you're wearing his jumper.
No, well, he was going to wear this for the World Championships, but he's buggered after the Tour de France, so I've got to keep this for the rest of the year.
Now, I'm just looking in the pockets there. Any steak wrappings or anything? Meat
a bit of horse meat, something in there. I don't know, it's just starting to smell a bit. So I noticed it was a bit grubby at the bottom here, but thanks, Cam, for that.
Very good. Now, we're going to have some special guests tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a room full of talent.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to have...
An exclusive
interview with Jesse Carlson. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Jesse Carlson. Yes. Sometimes during the night I'll call him Jesse Carlton, sometimes I'll call him Jesse Carlson. Either could be correct. Now, Jesse recently broke Strava by riding his bike from the west of America to the east of America in a shorter time than it takes me to have a crap.
And let's face it, there's no excuse to ever do that. There's trains, there's planes. What the hell's wrong with this guy? Doesn't make any sense at all.
Phil, have you ever contemplated riding across America?
I've certainly never contemplated sitting on the dunny for that long. But no, that would be insanity in my view. But it's for their own. Why not?
So we'll have a bit of a chat to him. I'm not sure what else we'll do, but we'll work it out as we go along.
Look, we're going to have an exclusive, the one that you've all been waiting for, the exclusive interview with the one and only Shane Kelly. I mean, we've been waiting for this one for a long
Shane's
time.
in the house.
In the house. Yeah.
So, BJ, what's the best thing you've seen on a bike this week?
Well, the best thing I've seen on a bike this week would have to be, well, as you know, I'm not the best at doing my research when it comes to current events in cycling, and I believe there's a race on in Spain, is it? The Vuelta?
That's correct. Some people call it, most Australians call it the Volta.
The Volta, yeah. That's because Australians don't know how to talk.
Phil's been educating me. How's it pronounced, Phil?
The Vuelta. Vuelta with a V, sort of a U, sort of E.
A B?
No.
The Belter.
Well, we could call it the Belter, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they're belting her all over Spain right
Oh
now.
my God, we've gone straight into domestic violence. This is
I'm not
horrific.
Sure. I'm not sure we're on a good track.
It's
here.
unacceptable, Phil.
Yeah, so you've been watching
The thing I loved the most was the outcry from everybody when, what's his name? Nibbly took that sticky bottle ride back up to the bunch.
It was
Because what people don't understand is that is how you get back up to the bunch. I mean, that's how you're meant to do it.
So that's not a. But did you see the speed of the sticky bottle?
Well, actually, the problem was the mechanic wouldn't let go of the bottle. Nibbly was dragging the car up to the bunch. The driver's like, he's got his foot on the fucking brake. He's like, oh, slow down, dude. And Nibbly's like, give me the just give it to me.
Which is impressive because he's not in full form at the moment, Nibbly.
No,
like
not
his
at all.
team director, Vinokurov, has said, you're out the back door next year. Imagine full form. That'd be...
Terrifying.
How fast do you reckon
Yeah.
that sticky bottle would be?
Well, very, very fast. I mean, Quintana doesn't have the same problem because at 4 o'clock every afternoon they have to give him his bottle of milk. Because he's only in year 9. I mean, don't pick on him. The guy's tired. He has to have a nap. But wait till he hits puberty. That guy is going to be tearing that stuff apart.
Once he gives up the mid-afternoon...
Once he doesn't have to have his daytime nap, he's
Yeah.
going to do a lot better in
Yeah.
these longer tours.
Him and Caleb, maybe. They'd be in the same
Well, no, see, Caleb...
kindergarten group, wouldn't
He
they?
does.
Yes.
He will do something, and then they'll let him go home for his nap. He doesn't have to stick around for the whole
No,
tour.
that's right. Doesn't have to stick around with the older kids.
He's on the junior program. Yeah, the
So
junior program.
Before we move on to Caleb, Phil, what was your take on the Nibbly sticky bottle?
Well, he nearly got away with it. If there wasn't that that chopper shop there,
Yeah.
which showed him obviously accelerating away from the bunch, not pedalling. But you know, when he eventually caught up to the bunch, which only took about 30 seconds to do that 5-kilometre bridge, he actually got dropped. Yes, that's right. He made it at the back of the bunch quite easily.
Well, his legs had gotten cold by that stage. When you're doing 80 k's an hour, you tend to freeze up.
Yeah, with that chill effect. And so then he was dropped on that last climb to the finish. So I don't know what he's crying about.
Would it be unusual to see a helicopter over a Grand Tour? Like, would Nibbly have been surprised that was called?
No,
out?
even back in the day of the dinosaurs, we knew they actually had commissaires, on certain climbs, like an Alpe d'Huez, you'd have them hanging out the bloody window, But they wouldn't be looking at the guys at the back. They'd just be looking at the guys at the front. Yeah, taking numbers.
Well, and back when you were racing,
blowing
it'd be
whistles.
like a the Zeppelin would be over top, right? Commissary would be hanging
That's
out,
right.
or the biplane with the wings.
Yeah.
But they were louder. You'd hear them going, "Wah." So you knew they were
Right,
there.
yeah, that's on the neck of a bloody dinosaur.
I have a sticky bottle. Well, it's not actually a sticky bottle story as such, but I do have a story. As I said, shortest ever pro cycling career of all time. I did the Baby Giro, which was the amateur version of the Giro d'Italia. And there was a day when I was out the back, so far out the back that there wasn't even crowds on the side of the road anymore. And I was there with about 5 or 6 other riders, all Italians. And they did let us know that we were outside the elimination time. And one by one, police motorbikes would come back and the motorbike rider would put a hand on the bum of one of the riders and whoop, off they'd go, accelerate off into the distance and push them back up. And I noticed, I was like, oh, well, there's only 3 of us left. And one by one, these motorbikes would come back and push us up to the bunch. And I was the second last one, and the motorbike came back, and I thought, well, this must be mine. And he went around me and got the Italian rider, and off he went, pushing him. And so I grabbed his luggage rack, and he towed me back up to the bunch. This is a 100% true story. Towed me back up to the bunch.
When you say you grabbed his luggage rack, is that...
He had a package. There was a package. I grabbed the package. It was in leather. It was a leather-bound package.
Italian in leather, hard to resist.
Well, that's right. On his big Moto Guzzi or whatever the hell that was. And he pushed the other rider, and I hung on the luggage rack the whole way back up to the bunch, and struggled and finished the stage, and got back to my hotel room only to have Charlie Walsh walk out and berate me because I had been fined 1,000. I don't know what Italian money is, clams or something, coconuts, and he said that I had cheated by hanging onto the motorbike. Wow. I was like, wait a minute, did anyone else get fined? He goes, no, you're the only one.
Phil, your highlight of the bicycling week?
Highlight of the week, I think, was getting round the Amy Gillett Grand Fondo loop.
Or as we know now, knowing it, we've been corrected tonight. It's called the Grand Fondue.
Fondue.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
We were told tonight that
cheese, is
there
it?
will be lots of cheese.
Okay, yeah.
Cheese.
But doing it 29 k's an hour, knowing that next week I've possibly got to do it at 40.
Okay, I'm out. I was going to do that, but bugger that. Something
Phil,
like that.
You've finished a Grand Tour with
Or two.
or two with a broken sternum. Like, I heard the medical report suggested that it was like something from aliens, where an alien had actually come out of your
Self-inflicted too, apparently.
sternum. And there was just, and you still finished the tour. What do you think of Chris Froome breaking his foot and not finishing?
Pussy.
Bit soft.
Yeah. No, it's
soft
a bit of,
cock?
yeah, you're right there, mate. It's a bit of a pussy, I think. Your words, not mine. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously he's come out. He's won, you know, he's
He's
already
come
won
out.
the, won the...
Hang on,
He's come out.
rewind.
He's won the
He's
big
come
one.
out.
No, he
You
hasn't-
heard it first
He
here from
hasn't
Phil
come out.
Anderson.
He
Chris
hasn't
Froome.
quite come out like Hank, our mate Hank.
Well, no, Hank.
No,
And
or Rob,
more power to you, Hank.
Roberta. Yeah.
Rob
Hasn't come
who?
out those Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Roberta
Do you guys know, have you guys heard about Rob Miller?
No?
Well, Rob is now called...
No, it's not Roberta. It's something else. He's got some whole other lady name. But
Yeah.
anyway, Robert Miller
We're-
now, a la Hank
we
Vogels and
respect that.
Caitlyn
And-
Jenner. It's all good.
Well,
Who's paying the motorbike riders to run into people, by the way? Because that
Yes.
seems to be pretty popular right now.
Have any of you noticed the amount of motorbike riders running into Pro Tour riders? Everyone's mate, Peter Sagan,
Yeah.
now has a burn
Carl's son.
for Carl. That's in it. Why is it Carl
You think he would have
Sagan
gone into
and
astrophysics
Peter
like his
Sagan?
dad, but
Yeah.
for some reason
Do you know
bike riding.
we're going to talk about astrophysics later?
Oh, are we?
Or physics
Awesome.
at least. So, and then this other guy whose name escapes me, Sergio. You might need to pronounce me with the pronunciation.
Sergio's good.
Sergio Paulino
Paulinho.
got
Paulinho?
stacked into. Was it last night, Leo? Or where's our fact checker, George?
George, was that last night? Good, thank
got
you.
stacked into 17 internal stitches.
Yeah, but internal stitches don't count.
Don't count.
It's only the ones that
don't
show,
count at
mate.
all. Nah, don't count at all. No scar. The scars are like Strava. You don't.
It doesn't count.
Then on the surface, we don't give a shit. We don't care.
So neither of you asked me my highlight of the cycling week.
Because we don't care what your highlight was.
Oh.
No, what was your highlight, Adam Kelsey?
Okay, so I think we talk a lot about men and men in cycling. I think this woman needs to be given credit, and I think
Hank Vogels.
you know that tradition.
No?
You know the tradition where we claim New Zealanders as Australians.
Well, when
I'm-
they're doing something good,
This
yes.
girl's French, but I'm claiming her as
As
Australian.
Australian, why not?
Because her name is Pauline,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't get much more Australian than a name like Pauline.
You got to say it though, Pauline.
And Pauline.
I'll tell you.
And
yeah.
everyone loves Pauline. Like, since Pauline Hanson, she's a character everyone loves. So last night, Pauline Ferron-Prevost, is that how you say it?
That's
I
not
believe
even
so,
close
yes.
to
Is
how
that
you
how you
say
say
it.
it, Ben
Is there anyone
May?
French in the building here?
Ben May,
No.
where are you?
No Frenchies?
Has Ben gone home? I
Be
can't
careful,
see a
they
thing.
sneak in with the humans sometimes.
So overnight, she became the mountain bike world champion. And I hear you guys saying, whatevs. But that adds to her road world title
Ooh.
and her cyclocross world championship
Yeah,
title.
that's pretty good.
So currently she is
Multidisciplinary.
world champion across 3 disciplines.
Mm.
So how about a round of applause?
Go, Pauline.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have another very special guest tonight. We are going to bring the pain from Red Bull, Mr. Alistair Payne. Come on down. How are you, Alistair?
Yeah, good.
We don't have an interpreter here, so if anyone doesn't speak Kiwi, you're just going to have to bear with us. How's your evening been so far?
Yeah, not too bad. I've been told there will be subtitles when you have this live. Is that correct? Yeah.
There will be subtitles, yes, we do promise that, yeah. And Red Bull's doing something quite exciting and a little bit different all of a sudden with mountain biking. What is that?
Yeah, look, they approached myself and some guys from Flat Hill Dirt and old Bruce Dickey and some of the guys up there in Castlemaine about holding a 12-hour mountain bike race with a few course changes and mixing it up over the 12 hours to keep it interesting. So they're just wanting to put on something that everyone can have a bit of fun, come along and sort of enjoy riding bikes for a bit of time.
I've heard Jesse Carlson's going to ride that, and he's going to start in Perth.
He's going to stay in Perth, and he's going to have diarrhea for the whole thing. He's actually sponsored by Pollo Loco for the whole thing just to make sure the diarrhea happens. Why would anyone... I mean, how are they expecting to make anyone enjoy riding a bike for 24 hours?
Well, I believe Jesse's going to do it on a single speed, isn't that right, Jesse? Or
Beast.
possibly the BMX?
A fixed gear unicycle?
If anyone could do it, Jesse could. So, but no, look, it's going to be a pretty challenging track by no stretch of the imagination. If anyone's ridden out at Castlemaine, it's just rocks galore. But we'll have a bit of fun with it. A few brews along the way as well, and some music.
And Bruce Dickey, I'm familiar with Bruce Dickey. He's about 75 years old now, but that guy still goes very fast. Is he actually going to compete?
It wouldn't surprise me. He still loves to get out there and have a spin. You wouldn't think that he rides for an old man, but he can keep up, and he dishes out a fair bit of stick along the way. So
if you get a chance, get him to scull either a pint or a jug, because that guy at the Single Speed World Championships, maybe the Nationals one year, won the beer sculling competition.
yeah, well, he is one of those single speed weirdos. So yeah,
Hey, I'm one of those single speed weirdos too, so be careful.
we've put in a single speed category to try and bring a few out of the woodwork. I know Dan Hale, your mate's been
Never heard of him.
potentially having a go. Old shifter Dan, so we'll see.
We actually have an ongoing argument, myself and Dan, as to who brought single speed racing to Australia. But we do know one thing for sure is we held the very first dedicated single speed race ever in Australia together. And that was out at Nidri Quarry, where 6 of us turned up and 3 of us finished.
So, Alistair, you're from New Zealand.
Yep.
You were telling us a bit earlier about a ride that it sounded like you hit. Can you just tell us what happened again? You had a crash.
North or South Volcano?
This is in Melbourne. Are you meaning last
Oh,
Friday?
yeah,
Or?
and you had a crash.
Yeah.
And you hit. Can you tell the sentence how you told us?
Which crash was this? This is the one where where I hit the deck.
He hit the deck. He hit the deck so hard, the deck splintered.
Yeah, that was a few years ago. I had a broken back on Sydney Road. Got collected up by a car, one of the friendly Melbourne drivers, and crushed a couple of vertebrae. So
And hit
the deck.
And how have things been going for you since you hit the?
Well, I got cleaned up again last week, so I guess not too well, eh?
Hit it again.
Yeah, got sideswiped by another car. So
Now,
Was it also a bit windy? Because if it is a bit windy, you can tend to hit the deck.
I have a POC helmet to keep me nice and safe. So that was always a winner. I had BJ. You're a big fan of them?
I was going to leave that alone, but now you've brought it up. I mean, it's the POC helmet is the, there's this whole oh God, I can't believe I'm even going to go there. There's this whole movement of men rebuilding their foreskins when they've been circumcised. The POC helmet is that version of we are reclaiming the stack hat. This is the uncircumcision of helmets, the POC helmet. I'm a fan, actually. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I think it takes a special sort of a person to pull them off.
He said pull it off. I just talked about circumcision, and Alistair just talked about pull it off. Talk about bringing the pain, people.
do you know how a New Zealander finds a sheep in long grass?
Adorable.
Delightful.
That's terrible. I've got a Kiwi mother-in-law. Well, actually, technically and wife. So I take offence to that.
Hang on. Your mother-in-law is your wife?
Well, my mother-in-law and wife, yes. No, my mother-in-law and wife are both Kiwis. So.
Phil, your time in the pro peloton, were there any Kiwis?
Yes, there were some Kiwis, but there were no hipster beards back then. It's very trendy now in the peloton, but back then it wasn't seen. The occasional Kiwi may be, but...
We had a Kiwi clean up the under-23 men's cross-country on the weekend, so I guess it can't be all too bad. Anton Cooper
Do you know,
taking it out again.
I'm afraid to inform you that since he won the race, he's now become Australian.
Well, that actually is true. They do instantly, their citizenship changes. Can I also point out that, just in defence of New Zealand, that there was a little Commonwealth Games in Auckland once upon a time, and the Australian track team turned up there resplendent in their green and gold, and got a haul of silver medals because Gary Anderson flicked them for everything. One Kiwi guy managed to win everything.
Flicked everyone.
Oh, yeah, in every race. And then Australia just took all the silver medals home. So go New Zealand.
So,
Yeah, propping up Australia for a long time now, I guess.
Oh.
Gills, can you tell us a bit about the Dulux Tour? Did you ride that?
Dulux Tour was a tour. Was the tour of New Zealand back in the 70s. I think there's another tour of New Zealand now, but it was a race back in the 70s, which was my first race out of Australia, and I think it was 77 to be precise. And first non-Kiwi ever to win it. So I was pretty happy. I was still a junior actually. I think I was 18. Winning the.
Could you raced in Italy and France and would have struggled for a number of years with the accent. How did you go in New Zealand? Were they?
Well,
hard?
that was a good initiation, actually, but by fire.
Yeah.
The following year went over the Com Games, went to Canada, and that's
Yeah.
a whole other animal over
Yeah.
there. But, going to the North Island was a good launch pad for that.
And so, Alistair, I mean, I'm very excited about a potential involvement with Grupetto Show and Red Bull. When exactly do I get my wings?
Down the back. Just knock back a can and we'll see how you go.
In the bathroom with the mirror ball, because I was flying in there before.
Thank you very much, Alistair. It's been great to have you on.
Lovely to meet you.
Just a quick 23rd of September. Can't even speak. 27th of September. at the
26th.
20 what?
The 26th.
Yep, it's 2-6.
I don't even have to tag that one. He did it for me. Thank you very
Take
much.
care out on the bike. Watch out for hard decks.
Yep, will do.
If you are going to hit the deck, make sure it isn't too windy. Sorry,
Thank
this is my
you.
son teases my mother-in-law like this. So.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and
Alistair
gentlemen,
Payne.
Alistair, bring the pain.
And how are the Australians going in there? You've seen the young man.
Oh, we've got an
Caleb.
we know there's an opinion coming here, people. Ready for the
Okay,
controversy?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Here we go.
So let's give a bit of background. This week, Phil stirred up a shitstorm on social media when he suggested that Caleb Ewan, who's similar to Quintana, is what? 15?
12, 13, I think. Mm-hmm.
Pretty
If he
pubescent.
starts the Tour of Spain, he should finish it. He won a stage, which is a terrific achievement. Every Australian in the world was proud of McEwen for winning the stage.
I think it's Ewan.
Ewan even. Why do we have a sprinter named Ewan and a sprinter named McEwen? That's just too
Well,
much.
and the sprinter named McEwen named his son Ewan McEwen. Are you
Ewan
all aware of
McEwen.
that? Because I think that is child abuse.
That is ridiculous. Every Australian was happy
You
to
heard
see
me, Robbie. Child abuse.
Caleb McEwen win, except for Phil.
No, look, he's a true champion, and I think he's somebody that's going to be up there in the future with potential green jersey in the Tour de France, and Green Edge, to the credit, is nurturing this young rider. But I don't believe they should have put him in the Grand Tour. At this young age, like he's
14.
Pre-pubescent, he's 20 years old, and going into the race, they had the intention of only having him there for 5 days, or 6 days. So, on day 4, he won a stage, fantastic. He was up there,
And then he fucked off home.
and then he was.
It's a nice way to ride it too. I'm out of here.
Home.
See you, boys.
So, I mean, this is a big race. This is a race which is possibly more difficult than the Tour de France. Maybe not quite so prestigious, but I think there's like 13 mountaintop finishes, which is just crazy. So it's more than half the stages mountaintop finishes. Tour de France only has like 3. So a very difficult race. They put him in there, and he's up there sprinting with the world's best sprinters. And they've been looking after him all year. And the problem that Green Edge has, they don't have the biggest budget in the world, and it's very difficult to keep these young riders, because as soon as they blossom or they start winning big races,
They get
the
picked
other
off by a
teams-
real team.
Yeah, the other teams are going to come and grab them and take them away. And so, to try and keep the riders in the team, they say, listen, we'll put you in the Tour of Spain.
Give you a day off here and there.
That's right. You'll only have to ride a week, and bang. That's. I don't think that's good, because these young riders are getting that impression that they can just ride for a few days and pull out, and they're riding against Delencob, top sprinters in the world, that are looking at the 3-week program, and to be able to you got a ride that's just there for 3 or 4 days.
Do you think maybe they could help if they brought someone like, let's say, Robbie McEwen in to show him how to win stages, but just sit on and do fuck all for the rest of the tour? Because, we all know that's how Robbie used to do it.
And Cipollini.
Yeah. He had those special glass cranks he used to use, which he, on the stages where he wasn't a potential
Crystal
winner.
cranks.
He
Crystal.
used crystal cranks. Yeah, where he couldn't push too hard, so he had to sit up the back and not do any turns or anything like that, or pay for beers or coffee or anything, stuff like that. Where maybe Caleb did a turn on the front, he probably got tired. Robbie's
Actually, you
never
know what
done
was
that.
great was
Let's
there
face it.
was, there's a photograph the next day on the internet with Caleb. This is the day after he won the stage, and he had the vest on with about 10 bottles in the back, and that's fantastic. Showing he's a guy that's won a stage in the Vuelta, and the very next day he's domestic for Chavez, who was in the leaders jersey, which is great because obviously it's not just Australians on the Green Edge team. They actually had a Colombian rider who was leading the Tour of Spain, which was fantastic. But
That's where they get the good riders from.
that's where they get the good riders from. No, but look, Caleb's a real champion, and I've met him a number of times, and his family, and he's he's a great guy, and certainly a guy in 5 years, 10 years time, we're going to be seeing him in the really big races, but. They could have put him in the Tour of Switzerland, if they want to put him in a hilly race.
Bendigo Tour,
yeah, the Peninsula 3-day. There's plenty of other races out there, but to put him in there, and young guys, like I noticed, Facebook, Simon Gerrans' dad said, "Oh, that's a bit rough, Phil. We know what you're saying," and I just.
You said, "What the fuck would I know?"
Yeah. What the fuck would I know? How would you like it if somebody like Caleb was taking Simon's spot in the in the roster of the tour? But just to take the spot, hard-earned spot, just to pull out after 5 days.
You mentioned that John Degenkolb will go on to finish, and that Caleb Ewan won't. Do you think if Ewan used a bit of the caffeine in the hair, that could help him finish?
Maybe a bit of Red Bull. That would do it.
Well, Red Bull.
Red Bull in the hair.
Yeah.
Let's go for the Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen those ads. They're pretty good, aren't they?
They're very good. That got me through the Tour de France. The racing was shit, but the caffeine ads, the caffeine shampoo, I actually went into the shower. It's just not going where you think.
I hope not.
Because I was getting tired, started drinking the shampoo with the caffeine.
Okay.
Just to get me through the
I
tour.
thought you were going to start talking about your POC helmet.
No, it was fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just about to wrap up the show, but before we do, we have a chance to speak to a legend of Australian sport and a legend of Australian pubs, Phil and BJ.
Yes.
And you can ask me questions as well, but
So you guys get to ask us questions. Now, what we might do is Phil's got the wireless mic. Maybe we'll hand that off.
The hashtag.
If anyone
mic.
has a question, you can, as personal as possible would be better, actually.
Yeah, ahoy, Phil. Mark from Thornbury. Hi.
Hi, Mark from Thornbury.
Laziest rider you ever rode with?
I don't know. He's sitting right next to me, so it's a tough competition.
I always find the riders that really talented don't have to do much. They don't have to train much. They're just naturally gifted. And, guys like Lamond, I'd be out busting my hump, bloody, doing 6 hours a day training, and he'd just be doing a couple of hours, and he'd roll up, in the prologue of the Tour de France, and beat me by 10 seconds or something like that. So.
To be fair, though, in time trials like that, he would probably ride a straight line, which you weren't sort of known for when time trialing.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I'll just sort of.
Yeah, that serpentine kind of technique.
Serpentine. That would be the best way to describe it. That's right.
We've got another question up here.
Hi, it's Simon from Fitzroy. I've got a question for Adam. Adam, you ride mountain bikes in single speeds. I was just wondering, do you recommend those belt drive single speeds? Because I have a lot of trouble with grease on my pants.
What I recommend, Simon from Fitzroy, from Detroit. Simon from Detroit.
I heard Detroit, but I don't know. It could have been Fitzroy. Who knows?
If you ever come down to Torquay Way, pop around. I'll show you my bikes. I actually don't.
And his greasy
I
pants.
don't do any maintenance on my bikes, and so there's no chance of getting grease because the chain is as dry as a dead dingo's donga. I'm glad you said that.
A nun's nasty.
Because I was. Well, that's what I was going to say, but I thought I'd leave it to you.
That would have been bad. He would have had to censor that.
Thanks, Simon.
One more question here.
One more question?
Yeah, it's Brad from Broadmeadows here, Billy Joe. How come you scumbags don't pay Rego?
That's a damn good question. It's because we own the fucking road, that's why! No exhaust emissions, that's why we don't pay Rego. And when you can catch us, then you can charge us Rego. Any other questions? Any
Last
more?
question.
Last question. Who's got a question?
Yeah, g'day. This is Bo from Point Cook.
Oh, look out.
When did sock height become a thing and why?
Oh, don't even fucking start me on sock height. All right? Can I just say, hang on, there's a little demonstration here. We do have my first ever cycling coach in the room here, Leo the Gremlin. And he sent me a pair of socks, and I can demonstrate perfect sock height.
That's it.
It's lucky I'm flexible. That is as long as they need to be, people. That is as long as they need to be.
That's it.
As cyclists, you have puny upper
I will
bodies.
endorse that, okay?
Mhm.
I will endorse that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have cyclists. You have puny upper bodies. You've got no muscles. You've got no pecs. You've got weird tan lines. The only thing you have to show is nice calf muscles. Why the fuck do you want tan lines halfway up your calves?
Put that back on the table quickly now. Put it on the table. Put your
Well, what's going to happen? Why?
Put it on the table. Massive statement. Hashtag you don't wear world bands unless you fucking earn them.
I don't know if everyone else heard that, but Cam McFarlane just had a little bit of a rant, which I've had issues with, over on Facebook in particular, but yes. Yeah. Swipe right, exactly. Okay, we're going to wind this up, folks. Adam, would you like your microphone back? Sure. I have to say a huge thank you to everyone here at Trumpy Bar. This has been a lovely night. The food was amazing. The
Great
beer was
food.
delicious. I'm going to have quite a few more. Is anyone sticking around to watch the Vuelta later?
Yeah, I'm going to be
or
staying
the
around.
Volta? Excellent.
Doesn't come on until... doesn't... Another 60 minutes until the emission starts. I don't know why SBS have only just started covering it live. It's disappointing they didn't.
Well, they're fixing Tomo's hair. I mean, they got to spray all the stuff to fill the
That's
gaps.
right. Yeah, they couldn't pay Robbie enough, because
Oh,
he was-
they're wheeling Hank up to the microphone.
That's right.
With
yes.
his moon boot and his new vagina.
Well, after the new operation. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, she's going to do a great job anyway.
I'm looking forward to seeing Hank in the new.
Well, and Hank has expressed a large interest of coming on the show with us, so we look forward to seeing her on here with her new, the new personality. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah. So until next time, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out on a school night. We really appreciate it. I'm a teacher. I'll be in the classroom at 9 o'clock tomorrow talking about the same stuff I talk about in the Grupetto show.
I'm a homeless bum. I'll be getting tattooed on my chest tomorrow. So if you need me, I'll be there. And Phil, where will you be tomorrow?
I'll just be sitting in the office, getting ready for another week of organising stuff, tours and stuff. So
napping, folks. That's code for napping.
That's right. Yes, I've got.
He gets his blankie and a cuppa, and then out like a light.
That's right. No, I've got a very busy week coming up. So and of course next weekend's the Amy Gillett ride. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's right. Yes, and there will be.
We're going to do another recording. We're going to
We
do
are.
another show.
Yes.
And a word on the street. Multiple world champion Tim O'Shaughnessy will be at that event, and we're going to ambush him because he doesn't want to be on camera.
And an interview with Shane Kelly.
And the interview with Shane Kelly coming up next week, folks. Guaranteed.
Thank you for your support of the Grupetto show. We're having a lot of fun. We hope you are too. Thank you. We'll see you next time.